Hi guys, and welcome to my September wrap-up. Today I would like to talk with you about the books I read in September, in which I liked and which I didn't like. I read a total of 3 books this month and 4 short stories, and they all belong to the one series I also read this month. So let's just jump right into the books I've read in September. So the first book I've read in September has been The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and it belongs to the Remnant Chronicles series. So the story is about Princess Leia, who is forced to marry this prince from a different kingdom to create this an alliance, and she's so fed up with everything, so she flees on her wedding day to this small village, and she mingles around the common folk and hides herself up until the day when 2 strangers arrive, and she's very intrigued by both of them, and one of them is the assassin and the second one is the prince she fled. So the good things first, I think all of the characters that were involved in the story have been interesting and nice to read about. So that's a really good point. Second, I really enjoyed the overall idea of the story. I like that you don't know which one of the men is the prince and which one is the assassin. But the problem is that is everything there is to this book. 80% of the book could have been cut. I really don't know what book 2 and book 3 are about. Additionally, I think it's weird that it's called fantasy. I think it's more of a romance book. There are nearly no fantasy elements in the book. It's more like a romance book marketed under fantasy. If you want to read a romance book where you can figure out where the bad and good guy is, then you can read this book, but it's nothing special, and I think there are lots and lots of books out there that are way better than this one. The next book I read was Empire of Storms in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So if you haven't read Empire of Storms, you should just mute me until I put the sign away. Empire of Storms was a very surprising book for me because I wasn't as eager to read it because of Queen of Shadows. It started off with this small world, and now we have this big world. Nearly every character has a point of view. I love them. I think multiple point of views are interesting, but I can't shake off the feeling that the world is so different from where we started off, and it's a little bit irritating, but I also enjoy it. So the next point should be a negative one, but for me it's a positive one, and it's Aileen isn't really the protagonist anymore, or it doesn't feel like she's the protagonist. She's not very important up until the ending, I think. She's always in the background planning and you don't know what she's doing. And I actually enjoyed it because Aileen is my least favorite character since Queen of Shadows. I'm glad that we get those different characters that are way better. Like Elite, she's my new favorite character by far. The sex scenes and the love scenes in general, I really enjoyed them. That was a positive thing. I'm old enough to enjoy them. They're not weird for me. I think she writes them very nice. It's not too much, except Rowan and Aileen, they are just always over the top. There were a lot of similarities to A Court of Mist and Fury. Actually, the ending was so similar. I was a little bit confused. And the last thing I didn't enjoy, but I'm now a bit conflicted because I didn't know that Cale is getting his own little novella. Completely writing a character out of a book is crazy. He was the main protagonist in the second book and in the first, and you're like, now he's not even in the book. That's why where is Cale? But all in all, I think AOS was fantastic. We get a bigger world, we get lots of characters, and we get lots of twists and turns, and I overall really enjoyed it, and that's why I gave it 4 stars. And last but not least, I read Cress by Marissa Meyer. It's the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I have to say, it's my favorite up until now. I haven't enjoyed Cinder that much. I liked Scarlet, but I loved Cress. This book caught me off guard. I enjoyed Cress so much. Her character is just, she's so cute and naive, but in a very nice and lovely way. I love Thorn, and that's why I really enjoyed Cress, because he gets a lot of scenes. Marissa Meyer did such a great job with the character development, also with the pacing of the story. It was just perfect. I love when a book has a great pacing. It wasn't too boring, it wasn't too fast, it was just, I really recommend starting the series now because Cress has been so amazing, and I'm so excited to read Winter, and I hope it doesn't disappoint me. Like I said in the beginning, I also read 4 short stories. They all belong to the Lunar Chronicles series. The first one was Glitches. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Queen's Army, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't enjoy that too much. The Little Android, which was my favorite, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And the last short story I read was Cosmo's Guide to Being Lucky, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. So overall, nothing very spectacular about the short stories. I mean, they're short stories. They're just always okay. But I have to say, the Little Android was so good. That has been all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you very soon. So bye! I read a total of 3 books this was not free. So if you haven't read